Hey Jason, thanks for joining me. I know there was some exciting news out there today. Can you go ahead and share what's going on?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Holly. So the inflationary figures for the month of December were released this morning, and it came in right in line with what everybody was kind of expecting, which is actually a good thing because inflation, dropped again. This is the third consecutive month that we've seen some substantial improvement, which is great. So the overall 12-month average continues to decline, and in turn, what that means for mortgage rates is they've slowly but steadily come down from their over 7% highs that we saw back in the fall. So nothing crazy that impacted rates a ton today because it was more expected. We did see a little bit of improvement on rates, but depending on the lender that you're speaking with today, it is possible in a conventional loan to see something a little bit under 6% right now on a 30-year fixed.
Under 6%, that's amazing. I mean, considering what we were talking about a couple of months ago. So it seems like we're heading in the right direction, that higher interest rates have had a positive impact on the inflation. And as long as we keep trending that way, then it's feasible that rates are going to continue to go lower, which is what a lot of the buyers out there want.
Yeah, it's definitely going to generate some more competition. I think it's going to be a gradual decline, uh, month over month. Obviously, we can't predict other factors that could potentially influence the economy and interest rates. But if everything kind of stays the course that it is right now, we should see a little bit lower of rates, next month and then beyond, and going into the summer. And we're probably going to have a more healthy market at that point for both buyers and sellers. It won't be so drastic one way or the other. But it should generate a lot more competition and in turn, hopefully, more sales overall for real estate.
Yeah, so I think what's important to take away from this is that for buyers right now, you have a very unique opportunity. Even though rates are higher than they were this time last year, they are lower than they have been recently. And because there's a little bit more inventory on the market, comparatively, you have a good chance to get in and still be able to get some concessions from sellers. But when rates feasibly come down a little bit, then it's going to be harder for buyers to have that edge because, like Jason said, there's likely to be more competition, which in turn could lead to higher prices again and bidding wars. And getting a lower interest rate isn't really going to be worth it if you're waiting and competing to just pay a higher price.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you're in the market right now to buy, there's definitely deals to be had, and it's not a bad time for that individual. If it's something that's being forced, that's a different story. But if for people that are actually in the market right now, it is definitely not a bad time to buy because of those points that you just outlined. You can still get concessions or reduced price or whatever the case is, and you can negotiate with the seller. That's not going to be the case if a seller's got 10 offers sitting in their lap in a few months.
Yeah, so buyers out there, I would stress that you definitely look at properties that have sat on the market for a little bit. We are coming out of the holiday season, so that is a slower season. We have seen properties sit on the market for 30, 60 plus days. So look to those sellers. That might be a really good opportunity. Also, look at the advertising. There are some write-ups where the seller is flat out throwing a concession in, for the right offer. So if you can bake that concession in to buy down an interest rate or whatnot, then that seller's obviously got some motivation, and that could work in your favor as well.
Totally, yeah, I've seen those as well. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. And as Holly mentioned, um, properties that have been on the market for a little bit, those are where the deals are, and ultimately that can be really beneficial for buyers in the long run.
So buyers, if you have any questions about, what properties might be a good buy for you, what your options are, or what sort of loan programs and interest rate concessions and whatnot can be had, Jason's a great resource for you, and of course I'm always happy to help.